Hello, good afternoon, everyone. How are you doing? Just give me 1 minute as I update some of my titles. I think this is right. Sorry, I've just decided to stop stream right now, for whatever reason. So, how is everyone doing? I hope you've had a good week. Mine has been pretty good. I feel pretty good, I guess. Well, decent would be more of the right term for today. Excuse me. If my voice starts cracking a little bit, I think I'm getting sick. I'm not too sure. I've been feeling like really tired recently. Before I started streaming, I was already sleeping for what, 14 hours I think, and I still feel super tired. Sorry. And honestly, what I ate today doesn't help because I think it's making my throat a little bit worse. I had gamjang. I don't know how to say it in Korean, but in English it's pork bone soup. Thankfully, I didn't get one that's super spicy. It was just mild, so it wasn't too bad. But I don't think I should have ate that because my throat is a little bit more dry and sore right now compared to earlier today. I'm just getting a little bit of water to drink. But you know what? I think that pork bone soup was worth it. I haven't had it in a while, but it's still as good as I remember it to be. That's nice. So for today, I'm probably just going to stream for an hour or so. Uh, in case you haven't noticed, I'm actually streaming on two platforms right now, on both YouTube and Twitch. So I'm just gonna see how that goes. I'm pretty excited for it, but also a little bit nervous because I'm not really sure if I'm doing this correctly. But let's just try because hold on, can I like edit tags or something? That's not me for kid, page promotion, tags. Oh, I can't do tags. Okay. Sorry. Please bear with me for a bit. This is actually pretty interesting. I didn't really know that it was a thing to do this. So I'm just going to try stream language, English. Wow, there's a lot of different Englishes. I did not expect that. Save. Okay. So yeah, today I'm going to be continuing to draw. Let me just move my scene then actually. Loading. We're here. Awesome. So today I'm going to be continuing my drawing of Enna Alouette from Nijisanji EN. Is she my Oshi? Well, that's for me to know. But yes, I mentioned it before my previous streams. I really do like Enna outfit, especially her 2.0 one. Sorry, I'm like trying to type in stuff while I'm talking, and my brain only has one brain cell, and it can only do one thing at a time. I really do like her. I believe this is her spade outfit. I really like it, and honestly, it's kind of inspirational to draw because there's just so many like details that I've noticed have been considered in this. It's really nice to see all that detail coming together when I draw it. I will say it's really complicated to draw, and I've been struggling with this piece for a little bit just because I every time I draw it, I want to draw it with the best effort I can. But sometimes I just don't feel like drawing, especially right now with everything that's going on. Speaking of everything that's going on right now, Um, I've been pretty busy this week. Sorry for canceling stream last week on Sunday. I'll probably be doing the same this week. Not because of midterms, thankfully. That one of my midterms have been done. I was actually surprised by how well I did on it. More than like pleasantly surprised, because I went into that exam knowing almost nothing. Like, we had a cheat sheet for the midterm exam. I just, like, honestly just copied everything I could. I had to rewrite it several times because my writing was too big. So I just had to erase and write smaller to cram in everything I can on that cheat sheet. And you might be wondering, oh, you have a cheat sheet, it's gonna be easy. And you're right, actually. It's kind of, doing the exam was more easy because I made a cheat sheet. But it wasn't the cheat sheet itself that helped me, it was writing stuff down on the cheat sheet to help me with my exam because I actually remembered more. And please bear in mind, I am in university, but I've also been in university with, you know, the whole pandemic that has been happening. So all my studying was basically typing notes, open book, and stuff like that. So I'm not really too I'm not used to doing physical in-person exams anymore. So funny thing is, when I first started exam in person, I forgot to bring a pencil. Thankfully, I always kept a spare pencil in like my pencil case. I've never even like bothered to bring pencils usually to my classes anymore, or pens or anything. Just like my laptop and that's it. So when I walked in, I was like, oh wait, this is a physical written exam. I need a pencil. And I was panicking. I was like, oh my god, I don't even have a pencil with me. And then the good thing, the artist side of me, the one who likes to draw, decided that I would always bring a pencil with me. So that saved me. But yeah, overall, last week my midterms were pretty good. Everything was fine. I'm surprised, like I said earlier, by how high of a mark I've got. And this is not bragging, this is me being genuinely surprised because it was not what I was expecting. Aside from that, I've just been out and about this week. There were a lot of things going on academically, but also in my personal life. I've also started to go back to work again. I haven't mentioned this in my previous streams, but I stopped going to my job because I just didn't have time and a lot of things were overwhelming. But I've started to go back to work this week, and I'm going to continue that next week and hopefully onwards, so I don't get fired. Because I actually do like my job to an extent. Decent pay, great people to work with. Physically demanding job, but pretty. I learned a lot from it. It has to relate to my field of study in university. Sorry for if I'm just keep on. Sorry for just keeping on blathering. I don't really mean to, but it's nice to talk about stuff from time to time. Okay, right. Let's get back to what the stream is about actually before I derail it any longer. So today I'm going to, if I can find my art glove, I'm going to be drawing an Alouette, but this time I'll be focusing on the hair as well as retouching some of the face parts. Not because she has a bad face, not all. Like, look at that face. I just want to get rid of some of the shadows because when I was doing this coloring for skin, I defaulted to my usual style of like heavy shadows. And that's not really what I'm looking for from this drawing. I want something more ethereal looking, just to match the vibe a little bit better. But sorry if you can hear my drawer. I'm trying to find my art glove, but I can't really find it. Wait, give me 1 second. I'm going to my room. I found it! Yay! Hello, I'm back. I found my glove! I needed it. Yeah, I was just saying that I have right now isn't exactly what I'm looking for, and I just want to do something more ethereal like, I guess. Is the best way I can explain it. Excuse me. I slept for 14 hours, but I still feel like I slept for nothing, so that's nice, I guess. Okay, so let's start. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to edit the shadows of the face a little bit to make it more, I would say, like one-dimensional or two-dimensional rather than three-dimensional. For example, get rid of some of the gray shadows you see near the intersection of like the scalp. Actually, let me try something. Yeah, if I like lower the opacity a bit, like that's what I want, more like ethereal. So let's just do that. Can I just erase? Yeah, I can. Okay. So that's what I'm more or less looking for. I wish I had like a picture reference to show. I don't really have a reference today. I'm just trying to like, I'm going on a little bit of a whim right now with what I'm trying to achieve. Just because I don't super know what I'm looking for. Usually when I draw, I have some sort of idea, but I really don't this time. So we're just gonna have to YOLO a bit. It's too red. Actually, no, that's fine. Then maybe just like very like light highlights. Anything, I feel like the face should be much lighter here. Maybe like this, and then I'll blend it in a bit. There. I might have to work a little bit on this off stream because I'm a little bit nervous right now, I guess. I don't really know. It's not, I don't think it's because I'm drawing per se that's making me nervous, like drawing on stream, but just because I don't feel prepared. Usually I like to be a little bit more prepared when I do something, but I just don't have the time right now to be prepared. I'm currently on reading week at my university, which means for those of you who are in university, I'm pretty sure you know what this means too. It's basically catch-up week where I have to catch up on everything that I fell behind on. And if I didn't fall behind on anything, then I would have like an actual break. But you know, that doesn't happen for a university student. So yeah, I have to catch up this week, and I have a lot to do. I'm not going to lie. I think I'm behind by like a few weeks. I think like for some of my classes, I'm like super behind. And I really need to catch up. Speaking of this week, I know I mentioned this earlier, but man, the weather this week where I'm living is pretty wild. It was at least a 10 to 15 degree difference from Monday to Friday. On Monday, the weather was above 0 Celsius. It was super nice. I wore like a light fleece and think it was so nice. I bought a new fleece jacket just to wear in that weather. We're not talking about that. I impulsively buy things a lot, and yes, and on Monday it was just one of those days. So I bought a new fleece, I tried it, it was great, it was nice and warm. And then as the days gone by from Tuesday to Wednesday, it just got 1 degree lower or a few degrees lower every day. And then until Wednesday and Thursday, it just hit hard and it went from 0 degrees to like the negatives in the morning and then back to like above 0 a bit in the afternoon. So it's like, okay, that's fine. I can't wear like a light jacket anymore, but like, it's still fine. But then Friday hit and it was just like -10 or something. And oh my god, I was freezing. I was not wearing the right stuff. I had to go out somewhere as a part of my classes on Friday, so yesterday, and I had to travel so far to get there because public transportation sucks. That was like on and off the bus, the subway, the train, stuff like that for like 2 to 3 hours. And it was fine, I guess, but it was also like the more I stepped out, it was freezing cold because to get to a place where I had to go, I had to walk an extra like 5 to 10 minutes, and during that whole entire time, I was like, oh my god, I'm so cold. I'm not wearing enough layers. I didn't have gloves. I didn't have anything. It was so freaking cold. Trip itself was worth it, so I'm glad it paid off. But I've never felt that cold before, or like, well, no, that's a lie. I've never just felt that scared, I guess, if that's the right word, of how cold it is because I didn't dress in enough layers, which usually never happens. Usually, like, I dress warm enough, so it's fine. Like, I was actually so cold yesterday. Yesterday, I started panicking a bit. I'm like, oh my god, am I gonna freeze to death here? Is this how I go? I'm too young for this. I'm not telling you my age. Okay, so right now I'm just blending in some of the light and shadows. Give more depth while still trying to achieve that ethereal look I'm looking for. But it's hard because there's very fine balance between light and shadow that I have to work with. And I'm not sure if I'm doing what I want to do right now. Yeah, everything is too dark right now. That's in the values, not the skin tone. I'm just trying to lighten up complexion a bit in the values. My style has always been to like build build shadows, but it's the opposite of what I'm doing or like what I'm trying to achieve. So sometimes it's basically I kind of want to get the more anime type of coloring, like 1 or 2 layers of light and shadows, and just call it a day with that. But it's really hard to change when your style is something you're so used to, I guess. And also because I'm working on an existing drawing. If I was starting a new drawing, it's much easier to change stuff because I'm already like in progress with another art piece like this one. It's a little bit hard to just change stuff on the fly. I think this is good. Yeah, this is good. Then I just need to make the colors a little bit more distinct here. Yeah, there we go. A little bit of pink or red undertones here. And work on the lips a bit. Yeah, it does look very muddy, I think. Which I can't really do much about, unfortunately. Just because the colors I first put down were pretty muddy, I think. Which in turn makes this whole piece a little bit more muddy than I would like it to look. So that just means I need to do some color correction after this. Okay, so right now I'm just working on the lips a little bit, giving the lips a little bit of volume, color. And I'm going to smudge this darker shade like that. Flip the canvas back. Okay, not bad. But you know what? I can probably extend the light here a bit. Yeah, there we go. Then blend here out a bit so it looks less harsh. Let me undo that for a bit just to see, oops, difference. Okay, so less better. This okay. And add in. Yeah, here's a little bit too dark. Or like it's too close. Sorry, that's not the right word. The value or like the chroma is too close to like a shade rather than a color, which is why all of my other colors have become pretty muddy. And I'm just trying to fix that a bit. So now the skin looks a little bit more clear compared to when I first started this piece, which is a good thing. Colors, man, working with color is hard, okay? This should be good. Yeah, there you go. Okay, it's done. Now I need to work on the neck a bit. So I'm just going, because the neck I haven't really done much to, it's fine for me to just start the base color again. You know what, actually, I'll just erase this. That was a base. The reason why everything is so kind of weird, I guess, is because I started with a muddy base color, which is something I do unconsciously already, I guess. I like starting with like very muted colors, and sometimes that's not what I'm going for. So instead, when I try to like make it less mute, all the colors just become muddy because of this undertone here. This undertone was pretty muddy in color already. Like if I select the color and look right here, which is kind of like a pretty muddy color, if I were to start like, let's say here, ooh, let's say here, that gives it more warmth. Of course, this is bad, right? Like the shadows that the shadows I built on top, they don't really match, so it looks weird. But if the shadows on top were to match the bottom layer, and the bottom layer was more like vibrant, then all of these colors would look brighter. But that's just a mistake I have to live with right now. So before I start coloring the hair, I'm just going to build back and add dimension to the skin. If you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, I think you will notice that a lot of things I do in common in all my artworks is spending a lot of time on the skin. I really like skin, and I think it's one of the... I'll explain this. It feels like, for me, skin is like how people feel about eyes. Something about coloring skin calms me and just makes me excited to draw. But it also unnerves me to no end because skin is one of the hardest things to do. Because to understand skin, you need to have a really good understanding of light and shadows, which I kind of have, but also not really because I'm pretty self-taught. And I'm a very visual person. I understand stuff by seeing, and also doing. But for art specifically, I have to see it more to do it better, if that makes sense. No matter how much I draw the same thing or practice, I don't usually really improve, I guess. Like most of my improvement comes from me applying what I've seen and then drawing it out. So it's a little bit of a mix of both, I think. Some people argue that you always have to constantly practice, and they're not wrong. For sure, they're not wrong. Because without practice, you can never improve. But some people are kind of like me, where their practice, it's not like actually working on like specific aspects of their art, but just applying what they've seen and like just blending it into their art over time. It's a longer way, less tedious, but a more annoying way to learn because you're not really practicing. But you know what? Everyone learns differently, right? And for me and others like me, this is how we learn. So that's just how we're going to do it. Right now I'm adding in some light to the skin. And to make it less muddy, I'm reducing the reds in shadows. I'm giving a little bit more brown, actually. More orange. Orange has greater vibrancy compared to red. So it stands out more and makes it less muddy, the colors. Of course, when I say muddy colors, that applies to like any sort of hue. If you have the same consistency words of hue, then a lot of it just blends together and create muddy colors either way. So you need to have different hue values throughout the piece to avoid that. And people typically use red to avoid that because a lot of people like paint using like brown or more like orangey undertones rather than red. But some people do more red like I do. We have to bounce it back out with a little bit of orange. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. This is just my own experience, and it might not be valid. So that's how I try to understand what I do. And I'm not a professional illustrator, despite what I do. Illustration is not my main occupation. I think I'm good at it. I'm not amazing, but I'm pretty decent at drawing. Excuse me, sorry. I'm not amazing at drawing, I think. I'm alright. I think I could definitely do a lot more better if I had more training in it. But my main occupation is actually in design. I'm more of a designer than an illustrator, despite what I myself like to believe. I think that I do drawing better than design, but that's just my own bias, honestly. Okay. The skin is good enough for now. I'm going to start working on the hair first, because that's what I said this video was going to be. So that's what I'm going to do. But before I do anything, I need to correct the colors a bit, because I don't really like where the color is looking right now. I want to make it more bright, but that's not my intention. My issue is a lot of the hair is starting to blend in to the skin, which is not what I want. Just give me a second. I'm going to search up Enna again. Her hair is kind of a strawberry pink though. So to stay true to her color palette, I did try to do more strawberry colors. I think it is somewhat backfiring on me just a bit, because I made her skin a little bit too pink. I'm going to try something. I merged down the colors just so I can experiment a bit. Let's see if I can make the colors a little bit more cold. Nope. Increase the green and increase the blue. This maybe? Before and after. Before and after. Okay, so now I lost some of the warmth in her skin tone and it's a little bit cooler, which in a way is what I'm going for a bit more. It's more ethereal. Okay, let's just keep it like this for now. Also, I merged the layer, so it's too late to change anyways. That's fine. You know what you can do though? If I just copy, then undo the merging, do a breathing adjuster pull down, and click paste. There. Now I have the color layer that I adjusted, and the one I didn't adjust before. That gives me two options to change from when to see how it looks after I finish the hair. So that's a trick you can use in Procreate to save your future changes, but also have like your previous changes intact. Sorry. Save your future changes, but also have your previous work intact is by duplicating or like copying the future changes and then like undoing that to retain your results before the change and then pasting your new results back in. Sorry if that didn't make sense. I have a hard time explaining. Okay. So right now I'm just going to build in some of the shadows first before worrying about anything else. Yeah, you know what? I should just make her hair a little bit more pink. Ooh, too pink. No, that's just too bright. Maybe that's okay. Then maybe like, you know what I should do? Do in saturation. Increase the brightness a bit. Then bring the hair a little bit more toward. Ooh, oh my god, that purple is so nice. Okay. Okay, that's pretty good actually. That's higher contrast. So I'm just reducing some of the lighter areas to make it more vibrant in the light areas. And then I'm building in the shadow in the hair really quickly. Sometimes I feel like I'm not very confident in giving feedback. No, commentary on my art process. Because a lot of times it just comes up when I draw. It's not something I actively think about. And sometimes my changes in my art, it's just like, oh, because I feel like it. Probably a lot of artists can relate to this. Just sometimes you do stuff because you feel like it's right. It might not be, it might be. You don't really know until you do it, right? So a lot of times it's just experimenting around. Now, if you ask like a professional illustrator, chances are they know what they're doing. Okay. Sorry, my throat. I can already feel my throat dying a little bit. A bit. I do hope to finish the hair today. Just so I can like post something. Sorry again for not posting. I'm not sure if I mentioned this or not, but I haven't really been posting lately just because I just don't have the time to edit videos to post. If I had, usually I would have a little bit more time so I can just edit some videos to post, make new content. But university has been pretty hard as of late in both what I'm doing content wise and just the time management aspect. There's a lot you have to do, especially when you're in a university program that revolves around teamwork. A lot of my free time is based on, or even like just work time, it's based on when my group members are free to do work. And vice versa, like their free time is also in relation to when I am free too. So it goes both ways. I'm just going to use a different technique. I'm just going to do cell blocking. So it's kind of like cell shading, but I'm just using like less strokes to block out colors I want before putting back in the details. That way it saves me more time. I can focus on more on just getting the shadows in place. Like this. I think that's pretty good for now. Add. I think I might need a lozenge. It's only been like 30 minutes and my throat is already starting to feel like shit. Okay. I think this. Sorry if it's a little bit zoomed out. Now the under. The in. Okay. There should be some shadows here from the accessory. I use a lot of references when I draw, but today I don't really have references pulled out. I think especially for coloring, rather than like drawing itself, I use a lot of references for how to color, because I find that it's easier for me to understand coloring or depth by seeing someone else's work and just trying to do what they're doing. It's not really copying or plagiarism, but it's more like learning technique via, looking at something, which is what chefs usually do, I think. From what I know about cooking, which is not a lot, I heard that chefs do like when some masters are training their apprentices, they just tell them to like look at what they're doing and figure out from that. Because a lot of cooking does involve like analysis, I think. Analysis of like components in a dish, the techniques, a lot of that stuff. Okay. So I have my sorry. I don't remember what tutorial I learned about this in. But treat hair like you would treat like a sphere. The color, I don't know if I'm how to explain this. Okay, so when you hit light on a sphere, the light and shadows are like kind of like ovular because it's a sphere, and because your head is ovular, your light and shadow should technically follow that same, what's the word? That same form. So that's what I'm trying to do right now, is to, based on where the light is hitting, just try to keep the light and shadows in those areas more spherical compared to what I usually do. Of course, it probably doesn't look like it right now because I'm just like doing hard shading right now. But my hope is to get that effect. Honestly, I think it'll probably take me a few more times coloring hair, like solely just coloring hair and not worrying about a whole composition before figuring that out. Which is kind of a little bit hard, I'm not gonna lie. One of the main reasons I draw a lot of like big compositions but also hate it is because I have attention deficit. I like focusing on like the whole picture of something rather than specific details. But when I do focus on specific details, like for example the skin here, I hyperfixate on it like no tomorrow. So how I stop myself from doing that is just coloring everything at once. But that is like a self-destructing process because I'm not really learning as much as I could when I do that. But it's how I keep like my attention deficit issues in check. Okay, right. I said I was gonna get a lozenge. I'm gonna go do that now. Sorry. I'm also going to go get some water. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Oh, you know what I actually kind of want to do? I'm going to put in the clothes a bit. Just let me pull up a reference of Enna. So I didn't notice last time, but now that I'm looking closer, the clothes is actually too pink. Enna's clothing is actually more towards a bluish purple in the like shadows than I previously thought. That's what I'm going to change it into. Then I'm going to use a soft multiply brush to add in some of the shadows. I'm sure some of you have noticed, but I've decided to use light mode just to mess around with people a bit. I know how people are with light mode and their hatred for light mode. So it's gonna be pretty fun to see how people respond to this video once I post it. Light mode Procreate. Who uses that? I actually don't know anyone who uses light mode Procreate. Well, maybe I might be the first one then. I'm a light mode user. I'll say that now. I don't care if you judge me. I'm a light mode user. So I'm cutting off here for now and not working on it too much because I'm just not going to worry about it. I'm trying to focus on refining one section first. A lot of the techniques I've been doing with drawing are technically what professional artists do, but because I jumped straight into it too quickly, I've lost quite a bit of the foundation you would normally do. For example, the focusing on one part of a drawing and getting details right. That's something I usually never do. I always think of the full composition first when I draw, which is a good thing to do. You should be doing that, but not when you don't have enough attention to detail or foundational skills. Because once you have the foundational skills, it's much easier to just focus on a whole composition and get everything right. But when you don't have that, it becomes harder, and that just makes you more prone to restarting. So it's better to restart, in my opinion, in smaller aspects of a drawing first, rather than like restarting a whole drawing. Or just hating your drawing, honestly. That too. Right now, I'm reducing the shadows a bit because this dress is white, not gray purple. I just had the shadows in first, so I can like add white later, like so. Just to make it easier to handle. Like this. Then what I can do from here is just blend the colors in. Like this. Get more natural shadows and curvature. Yeah, there we go. Oh, has anyone seen the new Nintendo Direct? I've been meaning to talk about this for a while actually, but I'm super excited. I've already played one of the games from Nintendo Direct. Um Kirby's Return to Dreamland. The demo's pretty fun. I really enjoyed it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to buy the game and play it on stream. Because I mentioned previously in my playthrough, I was a little bit disappointed in Forgotten Lands because I thought the concept was really well made. The art was brilliant. I think like on the art level, they've definitely nailed the coffin shut close. There's no from what I know, there's no complaints on the art side. It's beautiful. But the ideas were very gimmicky. And it just lacked like the ability to keep itself together, I guess, if that makes sense. And it just got boring really quickly. And I wasn't able to finish the game, which is unfortunate. I might finish it on stream in the future, just because if I was playing by myself, I would not have the motivation to finish the game. It wasn't even boring, it was just really... Yeah, no, it got boring. It got boring. Let's just say that. It got boring because I just didn't feel like playing anymore. Same with Arceus, but that's a different reason. Arceus was not boring. It was just when I stop playing something, I forget about it, and when I forget about it, it's hard for me to restart. Same with Legend of Zelda, this is my one thing that's pissing me off. Legend of Zelda, I started the game when it first came out. No. I started the game in 2019. I stopped at 25% in, and in the end, I restarted the game, and I played up to like, right now, I guess 70% of the game, which for me is a lot. It's the only game I've played that, like, a lot of hours in. It's Xenoblade 2, which is the only game I completed. Like, the main story I completed, and then I'm almost done the post-story. Like the sequel, Golden County or something. And because my original plan was to like play the plus mode again with more stuff in there because I wanted to play all the characters. I won't restart that because I already have 179 hours in there. So I'm going to finish that game. Probably on stream as well, because I might as well. But the only other game is Animal Crossing, and you can't really count Animal Crossing as like you know, a very story compelling game that I want to play. It's just it's easy to play and it doesn't hurt to play because it's not really boring. It's only boring once you have nothing to do in a game and there's always something to do, like, you know, trying not to get scammed by Tom Nook. Yeah, I'm those are the only two games I played for a super long time. There's another one called Elsword, but that's because I have a lot of investment in that game. Money investment. So I never like abandoned it, but I've been playing that game since I was a child. So I have to continue it. I'm not on it too often, but I would love to stream it one day. I'm pretty sure no one will watch though because it's kind of like an obsolete game. I should try streaming it. Just for like the lulz, I think. Sorry, I got distracted. Right, I'm looking for Anna's outfit. I need a character sheet. Okay. I can't tell if her hair is more yellow or pink. Maybe I'm just colorblind. Because honestly, that would not be surprising. Let's reduce piece of red. There we go. And make the... This is definitely perfect. Okay, let me try and make the hair yellow, I think. I'm looking at other fan art right now, and like their hair is a little bit on the yellow side. So I think I'm just going to adjust my colors to be yellow. It might be a little bit too late for it. Hmm. Man, she looks so nice with silver hair. Maybe like this. Okay, and then I'll just add a little bit more yellow tones in. If I can. I don't really like using yellow. I'm not very good at using yellow colors, I think. Okay, let's just leave it at this for a bit. Then go with some brown. Okay, well, the hair itself is a little bit too yellow now. So if I can change it back. So this is what I did. Make it a little bit more. I like that. Okay, let me use the curve tool. Let's see how much. I'm going to reduce the. Then reduce the. No. Let's see. Can't really reduce that. Maybe I'll try with that, maybe? I mean, that itself is a pretty nice color. It's just not what I'm looking for. I mean, it's the hard part of color matching, because it really depends. Okay. Well, I think this is okay. A lot of it's just blending colors. You know? To reduce the light parts, I guess. Because right now the light is like blinding. Hmm. I don't think this matches. I'm gonna try to see if I can make it match. This is the fun part, I guess. Fun. Drawing. It's just trying things. Because you never know how it's going until you try. And who knows, you might find something you like along the way, right? My coloring style has always tended to be on the more brighter side of things. Probably because of the way I just use colors. But I always want to try to experiment a little bit more. See what else I can do. Because sometimes what I draw doesn't really reflect the bright colors I use. I draw a lot of things that are kind of like not dark, but very moody. A lot of the times I struggle because my colors don't match that moodiness. My drawings. Also, you know what I should do? I should take like a color course. That's one thing that I can't really learn by visuals. I have a very strong foundation color, but in all the wrong ways. I can't really elaborate too deeply into it. Or else I'm probably going to dox myself, which I don't want to. For socialism, guys. I'll keep that in check. But the main point is that I have a foundation color, but in a way that it doesn't really help you improve as an artist. But it helps with like more technical aspects. But because of that, my understanding of color is a little bit weird. And sometimes it doesn't translate into what I draw. Which is kind of sad. Okay. Here is one of the things I think I struggle with a lot, just because every time I draw hair, it always ends up a little bit different. Just because it largely depends on my mood at the time, my color. Sometimes it looks amazing to me. Sometimes it's just like, oh, what the hell did I do? You know? Well, this isn't that bad actually. It might be a little bit too orange now, but oh, actually, that's not bad. Yeah, if I just like Hmm. Okay, there we go. That's actually the right one I'm looking for. Perfect. Then I'm just going to use a soft brush now, make an overlay. Just add some blue and yeah, like here. Add a little bit of bluish pink in. There you go. Yeah, this is way better. This is what I'm looking for. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm happy with this now. This is what I'm looking for. Yeah. Now it's a little bit of a mix of both, which is what I've been trying to do. Someone texted me. No, it wasn't. Ah, the lozenge is burning my throat. That sounds really weird if I think about it. Oh, my arm. I think I didn't mention this, but I do have a carpal tunnel, and at least I think I do. It's either that or arthritis. I don't really know what the difference is, but I know some of my family members have it. And recently, I've always had this issue where like my hands suddenly freeze up or they get really stiff. Hand, finger, wrist, arm, that area. But recently, because of my job, I think it became worse. So I've been wearing compression gloves to like, you know, make my fingers like less less in pain. It has worked for a bit, but only a bit. I don't think I'm wearing the right ones. So yesterday I bought this compression brace at from Amazon. So I should actually find that and try wearing it. If I can find it. I don't know where I left it. Is my audio okay? Oh, I can't. Oh, silly me. It's right in front of me the whole time. Let me try wear that on my drawing wrist. Because it's only been an hour, but I can definitely feel my hands stiffening up. Let me see if it actually works. I wish someone was here to help me do this. Because this is really hard to put on by myself. Okay. There we go. I put on pretty tightly, so I might struggle a bit to draw. But I will try my best. Yep, I'm struggling. So purple and then go a little bit to, I think the blue is like this. So her hair has quite a bit of blue highlights. I'm just going to try add that in. Yeah, I really like this color combination. Okay, like that. And blend this in a bit here. I'm starting to blend in some of the blue a bit. Just to give it more of like the blue hue before actually adding in colors. Like adding in like the more solid highlights. Okay, so I'm already 5 minutes in drawing. This brace is a struggle to color with. Like, actually. I'm just going to do this. Smudge it in. Because I can't really do accuracy right now. I think it's a little bit too yellow. Or like too orange. Maybe more yellow. Strawberry blonde hair always confuses me because it looks yellow to me, but if you look closer, it's actually more red. So my initial color adjustment was correct, but because of the way it just looks, it looks incorrect. That sucks. Okay, do this. If anything, I think I can probably reduce the highlights a bit. I think right now the highlights are too intense, which is why it's throwing everything off for me. I'm just doing like splotchy fill-ins right now a bit of the color, just to get a more accurate gauge of where everything is. This is why art takes a long time. Even if you're a professional artist, it does take a long time to just figure out where stuff is. That's why art takes a long time. Because when you see a final artwork, it's like, oh yeah, so I need to do like this color, put this there, and bam, we have it done. But knowing what colors to put itself is pretty hard, pretty tricky to do. And it takes a lot of experience and time to do that. What you see isn't what you see online isn't the full effort someone puts in to create something. A lot of the times it is experimenting a bit and figuring out what works best. Okay. Add a little bit of pink. Blend that in a bit. Oh, here we go. Now it definitely looks more like a songbird. Also try blending a little bit of pink here. No, that's not good. Back. A little bit better here. Okay, I'm going to now do. So for today, I know I said I was going to finish the hair. But I think what I'm going to do instead is just build up the colors I need. For this piece. Because my wrist is starting to hurt a lot and I probably need to stop drawing in a bit. Which I will. I'm also going to sample some colors here and there. Get drawing going at least. So the next time I work on it, it will have like colors I can use. Like start blending and start rendering. Like this. I just blend this in a bit. There we go. Hey. Good, pretty good. Of course, it needs a lot of refining. Because a lot of the stuff is like kind of like blended in right now, but that's okay. I've noticed the more I stream, the more awake I become, which is a good thing. I think it's because I'm always tired. Not because of lack of sleep, but just genetically I'm always tired. That it kind of affects how I go about day to day. But every time I start streaming, I suddenly have like a burst of energy to just continue doing something. Even if I'm tired, obviously. But that energy is honestly what keeps me going when I stream. And it's probably because I like doing what I do. I like streaming. I do wish I had more people to talk to because I like talking to people. But for the most part, I like very chill streams where we can just hang out. I draw, maybe play a game, and we chat. You know, simple things in life. Okay, here we go. I hope you didn't hear that. My neck literally, like, cracked so hard, I felt like it snapped. Okay, let me do the accessories. I I have to say, the eyes look very nice. New layer. This is going to be the oh, excuse me. This is going to be the accessory. Here. What is accessory? I actually don't remember what it looks like even though I drew it. I don't remember the specific coloring. Okay, let me find a reference sheet. Ah, my neck hurts so much. Open image in a new window. Zoom in. Zoom in more. Ah, it's so pixelated. Okay, I think I get what I'm looking at. Color in a little bit of the gold. This is just a rough, so fine if it's a little bit messy. Then I'm going to. I think what I'm going to do is blend this out a little bit more. It should be more white. Here. Then I'm going to blend here a bit. Give it more of like a gradient flow downwards. And then use my brush to build it back up again. So the shallow areas back up like so. And then add some white here. Blend it. This makes it so I don't have to choose another color from the color wheel. And just sample the area here I need. The lighter parts. Like this. Shadow. Now I need a little bit of a darker shade. This area that's closer. The shadows. Here we go. Okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm going to reduce my brush a bit. Just add in some the Base area here, whatever this part is called. I don't know my clothes. I don't know what I'm talking about. I can only dress myself. I can't dress other people. Which is why I'm not in fashion. I like drawing new clothes, but I don't know what any of the things I draw mean. So I have to YOLO it. Okay. I have to take off the braids because I can't draw like this. It's torturing me. I'm going to finish coloring the accessories here. And then call it a day. I forgot that Enna has like a halo around her. I'll draw that next stream. I feel like I should get a chiropractor because recently my neck has been hurting so much. And I don't know what's wrong with it. Or I should get it checked out. But will I? That's a different story. Clipping mask? Wait, no, not clipping mask. Did I ever color the accessories? I have. Oh my god, I have. Right here. I'm just going to use this soft multiply brush to give a little bit of the bronze look that we're going for the color. And then I'm going to slowly add color back in. I know these leaves for sure are like this color. Bronzy, like rose gold color. But not really so much the flowers that she has. Those are more of an actual like steel color. I'm wondering if I can change that. Okay. You know what? It'll just blend into her hair, so we might as well just do like this sunset-ish color. I've been in the mood to play Pokemon. Just because I really like Pokemon games, and like I see everyone playing Scarlet and Violet, and I'm feeling a little bit of the FOMO coming in. I think Scarlet and Violet is the only Pokemon game series I didn't buy. Because like usually regardless if I play a game or not, I would always get Pokemon because I love the game so much. But not this time. I'm waiting for a black and white remake. Or just something else. Because as much as there were a lot of cool things in Violet and Scarlet, it just wasn't what I was feeling. There's just too many like issues with it for me to want to buy the game. Which is unfortunate because it looks really fun. Like those issues are like the type of issues that for someone like me who really focuses on like the weirdest details to play. Even if like it makes for like funny content, it's just really hard for me. So yeah, not gonna lie when I say I'm a little bit disappointed. But it's okay. I really should finish playing all of my other Pokemon games first. My impulsive shopping comes up almost every day in my life. Or sometimes I just buy a whole bunch of games and never play it. As you can see from my Steam library and Nintendo eShop library. I have so many games that I haven't even played yet. And I've already ran out of space twice. And upgraded, but I haven't even played a single game. Like if I only played the game and deleted it, like deleted like the game itself and not the data, I would have so much space. But I'm always like, oh, I'm just gonna download this now and buy it now because I'm sure I'm going to play it in the future because you know this is my type of game. Did I play it? No, of course not. Who plays the games they buy? Certainly not me. This is a leaf color. I'm just going to add some bit of shadow here. Call it a day with that. Oh, no, I added the highlights though. Like this. Yeah, there we go. Awesome, awesome, awesome. You know what? I think I'm going to conserve my energy because I also have to do homework after this. Let me look at my previous thumbnail because I want to make sure that I have actual progress from my previous thumbnail. Obviously, there is progress. I've literally been drawing for an hour, but I want to see like visible differences. Okay. Give me a second. I just need to find my assets if I can. I don't know where anything is on this freaking PC. Like genuinely, I don't know. Because like I'm not a PC user by default. I never really bother cleaning my PC every time I do something. Which I should. I really should. But I just don't really... I like PC for some aspects, because some aspects are very nice to customize. But others, I'm just like, ew, no. Okay, there is noticeable difference. I'm going to work on the face a little bit more before I go. Just because I want not as much visible difference in the face as I'd like. I'm just going to notice a little bit more content here. One thing about my style is because I do a lot of hard shading, like make a lot of depth. I drawing this up more towards the semi-realism side, which is good for sure. It's also a little bit bad in the way where when I'm trying to draw something like very flat, I just unconsciously go in and add more like emphasis onto like some parts that don't need it. And then in the end, it just becomes like what I have right now. But that's part of my style. Not to say I can't do like very simple stuff. Or like not simple, like but very like flat rendering. Which I can obviously. Like my style right now comes from somewhere. I started with flat rendering first. But sometimes it's just very hard to like switch from what you're used to unless you actively think about it. For example, when I'm coloring right now, I'm thinking about, oh, maybe I should add more like dimension here, more volume, and the more I think about that, the more I just do it. Like this here, for example. Like this part here doesn't need any like shadows or something. I still add it in anyways. Because I'm like, oh yeah, because you know the nose is darker in this area. I should add this in. So my coloring is based on like real proportions, but also stylized. Which is why it's kind of it's appealing in some areas, but also weird in others. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, this part is annoying me. There you go. After I end stream, I'm probably just going to go and watch some anime. I recently got back into watching anime after I would say like half a year of not watching anything. I'll be honest. I love anime, but sometimes I just don't feel like watching it. With D&D, Dungeons and Dragons. I started watching some today while I was doing homework. And I remember why I always play D&D. Like in the background when I do work. It's because I don't have to like look at anything. I can just listen to stuff and like you know, split my attention that way a bit. Whereas if I watch anime or any other show, I literally have to watch the screen because I want to see what's happening, which doesn't help me do work. The opposite, it makes it worse. But I haven't really felt like watching D&D until recently because I just didn't have the patience, I think. I didn't really have the patience to sit through and watch it, even though I love it. So this nose part is a little bit weird. I'm going to have to fix it. But I'm not really sure how to fix it right now. I'm just going to leave it like that for now. And I'm blending the nose out a little bit here to make the light less harsh. There we go. Okay, that's pretty good. Add in some details here. Okay. I think that's good. Oh, and here, obviously. There's hair here, so there should be some shadows. However light. There we go. Awesome! I want to add in the blue veil before I call it a day. What does a blue veil look like? It's more purple, actually, if anything. This purple. Just gonna color in. And I'm probably going to make the opacity lower to make it have that transparent effect. But I'm going to separate it into two layers, the veil, just to give it dimension and the opacity. So right now I'm coloring in the top layer first. I find that it's pretty important, in my opinion, to like separate your layers into. I'm one of the people who overuse layers. But overusing layers, in my opinion, is better than not using layers at all. Or not knowing how to use your layers, to be more precise. Because division of like, you know, layers is very important to like figure out where stuff is. Obviously, I don't do it super well every time because sometimes I'm just lazy. Who isn't lazy when you're doing this? It's a lot of work. But when I'm doing like professional commissions, I try to separate the layers for people and like categorize them. It's easy to like understand. This is one. Sorry, I'm just focusing on this one part here, which is annoying me a bit. Yeah, I can definitely feel that my hand right now doesn't have enough strength that I need to color. Because a lot of my coloring skills rely on like pressure. So by default, my brushes are all like semi-translucent, which makes it a little bit hard to like fill in colors. I always have to like use pressure to get what I want. But because my hands are so stiff right now, I can't really get the pressure I'm looking for. Okay. This is good enough for now. What is this line here? Is it from... So weird. I wouldn't think it was from this layer. Oh, I remember. I never finished this, which is why it's weird. That's okay. Now let's do... For this one, I'm going to do on like another layer at the bottom. Ah, now that's where the issue comes. Layers. I've run out of layers. Other self. What is this flower? I can't figure out where this flower is. Fine. I'm just gonna start merging layers now. Because I need that space. Because the hair is basically finished. Clean. Okay. Let's color. Hmm. For the sake of brevity, I'm just going to color this whole thing in. Yeah, because I think like this hair here is actually in front rather than in back. It should be in front of the hair, not back. How I'm trying to like talk myself out of like restarting the hair here. Okay. Yeah, after I finish drawing, so I'm going back to the previous topic. After I finish drawing, I'm probably just going to go just chill a bit before doing my homework. Or I might just do my homework first and then like spend the rest of the night reading, just drawing. Because I need the break. I'm pretty tired. 50%. There we go. Alpha lock. And have one more layer for the bottom. You know what? I can just do the bottom layer here. Here. I don't have a good grip on my pen right now, my Apple Pencil. Ah. I'm almost done. Ooh. That's wrong. Okay. Here's one of the panels done. So now that I'm like drawing this, I know it's like there's a lot of things I need to fix. So I can't really do like translucency thing, I think. I can, but I can't have like things overlap like here. Or else it's just gonna go, or else it's just gonna get really weird. There we go. If I erase distance. Yeah, so my pen doesn't have, I don't have like a case for my pen, which I should get. Because when I was wearing my compression glove, my pen was just slipping constantly, and I had to hold it tighter. But holding it tighter also made it slip faster. Now let me do add some blue in. I think here. Just mix it in a bit. Mix it in a bit here. Only here. In a bit. Then mix it in. So here we go. Ta-da! Okay, I think that's enough for today. Every time I say I'm gonna stream short, I end up streaming longer, so you know what? I jinx myself in a good way. But for reals now, I think that's enough for today. I am really tired. And I have a lot to do after this, so let's just keep at this for now. And I'll say that's my progress for today. Okay. Shoutouts. Thank you for people who are in chat right now, and for those of you who are VOD streamers, thank you for watching this VOD. That concludes the end of today's stream. So what I've done for today's stream is basically just work on my fan art of Enna Alouette from Nijisanji EN. I refined the hair a little bit, added the skin a little bit to make it more how I quote ethereal. Etheria. Added some color to the wings, the songbird wings on her head, the accessories, and the clothes a bit. And then finally colored in the veil a bit. Yeah, so that's all I've done for today. It was a little bit of a shorter drawing stream than usual, but honestly, I think this would make a better VOD because it's shorter, so I'm just going to keep it short. But yeah, so if you like what you've seen here, I do have my social media, which is more dedicated to art content, such as my TikTok and Twitter and Instagram. Mostly Instagram and TikTok. If you're interested in seeing more of my art, please do go check out and follow those accounts. I'm sorry. I keep on losing my voice lately, and I don't know why. If you're interested in seeing more of my art content, please check out @artcanic on everything from Twitter to Instagram to TikTok and YouTube and Twitch. But mainly Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for just like, you know, art reels, tutorials, just like seeing what I draw and the commissions I've done. Speaking of commissions, I have like I think another D&D art commission that I need to work on, but I've forgotten about it until literally right now. So I'm going to go do that eventually. But yeah, sorry for this whole runaround ending. I'm not very good at this yet, as you can tell. But yeah, that's all I have for today. I stream every week at 3 p.m. EST on Saturdays, and I've stopped streaming on Sundays for now just because I need the time to do my own work. But typically on Sundays I stream at 6 p.m. EST on Twitch and YouTube now, I guess. It just depends on where I feel like streaming. And I think Restream worked so far, because I do see my stream on both YouTube and Twitch, so that's good. But yeah, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're on YouTube and you like my content, hit that subscribe button and like button. And if you are on Twitch and if you like what I've been doing, then hit the follow button. Alright then, I'll see everyone soon. Bye!